Hello and welcome to Kehillat Shari Torah's virtual Counting the Omer and review of the laws and customs and meaning of Sfirat Omer for Tuesday, April 21st, which is 12 days of the Omer. Hayom Shnei Masar Yom Shehem Shavua Echad V'chamisha Yamim LaOmer. If you're counting along the Sfirat Omer in your Art Scroll Siddur, on page 284, at the bottom of the page there is a prayer there to the Master of the Universe, Ribono Shel Olam, which asks God to help us in correcting whatever blemishes we may have caused in the spiritual realms with these sfirot that we mentioned in the day. So what we're mentioning today on day 12 is Hod Shebegvura, what it mentions in the narrow column of sfirot, which is humility in discipline. The results of discipline and might without humility are obvious. The greatest catastrophes have occurred as a result of people sitting in arrogant judgment of others. Am I arrogant in the name of justice, or what I consider as just? Do I ever think that I sit on a higher pedestal and bestow judgments on my subjects below? What about my children? What about my students, those who learn from me? A judge has to be the most humble of creatures, recognizing that he or she sits in judgment not by their own merit, but only because God gave him the right to judge others. Our exercise for the day: before judging anyone, ensure that you are doing so selflessly and with no personal bias. Our halacha review for today is the time of counting the Omer. The mitzvah is to count the Omer at the very beginning of the night, as we mentioned a few days ago, after the stars are visible. Tzeit HaKochavim is when stars appear in the sky. It's also the ending time of Shabbat each week, so you can gauge it by that. Therefore, one should make the bracha and count the Omer as soon as possible, so as not to delay, especially these days as sunset's getting later, close to 9 o'clock, soon it'll be after that. You don't want to forget before you go to bed. If you didn't count then after the fact, one may count with a blessing throughout the night until dawn. One can count before davening Ma'ariv, before you say the evening prayer, on the condition that it is already Tzeit HaKochavim, it's nightfall outside, stars have appeared. Some are particular to count the Omer after their prayers. If you're concerned that you'll forget, you can count beforehand, before you daven. At the conclusion of Shabbat and Yom Tov, we count the Omer before Havdalah in order to delay the conclusion, the departure of Shabbat. It's customary to count the Omer after Shacharit also without a blessing, and that indeed is what we do in the years, most of the years, every other year, when we have a minyan in Shul every morning. Have a good day, make the most of it, stay well and healthy. We'll see you tomorrow.